George Whitfield's Letters, Volume 1, Letter 2, Bristol, September 10th, 1734. To Mr. G.H. Dear Sir, this morning I wrote to you in haste, expecting Mr. I would soon be going. But to my great satisfaction, he came hither this night, and soon afterwards your very much wished-for letter was brought to hand, which after 10,000 thanks for so many repeated favors, I shall now beg leave to answer. You tell me Mr. P. likes N. God be praised, that he hath recommended something to my perusal. I'll read it, God willing, with care, at my return, that he wants to know my quality, state, condition, circumstances, etc. Alas, that anyone should inquire after such a wretch as I am. However, since he hath been so kind, pray tell him that as for my quality, I was a poor, mean drawer, but by the distinguishing grace of God, am now intended for the ministry. As for my estate, that I am a servitor, and as to my condition and circumstances, I have not of my own anywhere to lay my head. But my friends, by God's providence, minister daily to me, and in return for such unmerited, unspeakable blessings, I trust the same good being will give me grace to dedicate myself without reserve to his service, to spend and be spent for the welfare of my fellow creatures, endeavouring to promote the gospel of his Son as much as lies in my poor power. But observe his humility, says Mr. H. I catch an old Christian without profound humility, if you can. Believe me, sir, it is nothing but this flesh of ours, those cursed seeds of the proud apostate, which lie lurking in us, that make us to think ourselves worthy of the very air we breathe. When our eyes are opened by the influences of divine grace, we then shall begin to think of ourselves as we ought to think, even that God is all, and we are less than nothing. Well, you may cry, O happy temper, could I but learn of Christ to be meek and lowly in heart, I should certainly find rest to my soul. May God, for his dear Son's sake, give it to you, to me, and to all our dear friends. Some like, some dislike the extract, you say. I did not do it to please man, but God. Mr. W. is too much engaged in temporals. Is he? Oh, dear sir, pray that when I enter the ministry, I may be wholly engaged in spirituals. But Mrs. H. has been ill and is now recovered. God be praised for both. Our Saviour, sir, learned obedience by the things which he suffered, so must we. Pain, if patiently endured and sanctified to us, is a great purifier of our corrupted nature. It will teach us excellent lessons. I hope Mr. H. has been enabled to learn some of them. So much in answer to your kind letter. You say it was too long. Believe me, sir, it was much too short, but a line is more than I deserve. However, I have made out in mine what was wanting in yours. My mother's journey to Gloucester, I fear, is spoiled by the weather. God's blessed will be done. I hope to be with you about next Tuesday 7 night. I am missed, you say, and you may well miss such a troublesome guest. Well, God will reward you richly, I trust. Never despair of my brother. When God adds upon the soul, he makes quick work of it. Be pleased to tell Mr. M. that his remissness hath occasioned me many a sigh, and his return from his relapse, matter of abundant thanks to God in his behalf. Oh, let us young, unexperienced soldiers be always upon our guard. The very moment we desert our post, the enemy rushes in, and if he can but divert our eyes from looking heavenward, he will soon so blind us that we shall not look towards it at all. A great deal may be learned from a little fall, but I must not detain you any longer than to assure you how much I am, dear sir, your and Mrs. H.'s sincere friend and servant, in our common Lord, G.W.